Let yesterday burn and go within a fire, in a fire, in a fire. Fight like a warrior. Today, live like you wanna. Let yesterday burn and go within a fire, in a fire, in a fire. Live like a warrior. Today, live like you wanna. Let yesterday burn and go within a fire, in a fire, in a fire. Fight like a warrior. Today, live like you wanna. Let yesterday burn and go within a fire, in a fire, in a fire. Live like a warrior.
Hello YouTube, this is another review from Flippin' Bean. We will be covering today the SoloV 2 from Direware. This is actually a pretty hot knife in the forum community. It's been so for a little bit. It's just overall it's a tank. I mean, the thing is solid. I mean, look at the thickness in that thing. It's almost a 1/4 inch starting here. Tapers down. As you can see, it tapers down and comes back to the point. But it's almost a 1/4 inch tie. That's almost a 1/4 inch freaking piece of CF, carbon fiber. It's that crazy isotropic. I mean, look how it catches the light in different ways. It's freaking beautiful. You know, like I said, all tie. One of the big things that sold me on this is the frame lock. You know, I'd seen this knife from this maker. He'd been floating around various forms, and I've seen it, and I always thought, you know, that thing is a beast. I didn't think it was as big as it was gonna be. I mean, look at it in my hands. The thing is just monstrous. But you know, as big as it is, it's comfortable. I mean, the balance point is about even. So I want to say it's about right back here. It's a little heftier in the back end, so it's got a little ass to it. So when you're cutting, you know, all the weight honestly comes from the blade, but the way it's balanced, it sits more back towards your hand, so it's not going to fall out. Like I said, most of the weight comes from the blade. From this is solid tie, this is solid CF. I mean, I took the thing apart, and I mean, this, I almost felt like there was no piece. And the same here. I mean, I'd taken off the clip, went from tip up to tip down. I prefer a tip up carry because when it comes out, I automatically have it in my fingers. Sorry, I already have it in my fingers, ready to go. Vice the tip down carry, which, I mean, it's a little bulkier in the bottom, so it kind of takes up a lot of room in my pants, but I like it. It's got this ginormous pivot. It actually has, this is one of the most ingenious things I've seen. It has the phosphor bronze. I mean, it's okay. Let's break this down in layers. You have CF right here. On the inside to the pivot, you have a phosphor bronze washer. On next to that, you have a thrust bearing. Next to that, you have the blade. Then next to that, you have thrust bearing. Then you have phosphor bronze washer. Then you have tie. There's like there's a sandwich. I mean, the blade is the freaking meat. You got the lettuce of the freaking thrust bearings, and then you got that nice mayo to make it all slick from the phosphor wands. Yes, I know. Sandwich metaphors. What do you know? All right, these have cosmetic effect to them. These freaking standoff bolts, I love them. They're ingenious. I mean, there's no guesswork with them over here on this side. On this side, I mean, you just tighten the thing down. I've wrenched on this thing as hard as possible, and it's still just smooth. I mean, it's got that nice S35 VN dark tumbled blade. I did a tumbled bronze tie. Something I have with tie. If it's tie, I usually like it to be like a tumble. You know, and if it's also tumbled, I like it to be a little bit bronze. The only thing is that bronze is like the lowest color on the anodization table, and it's can come off pretty easy if you use it enough. I've had this for a little over a year now. Get the skeletonized clip. This is also ingenious. He has these bolts, so he doesn't really bend the clip. It's a straight clip, but there's pillars, I guess, if you want to call them that. These right here are pillars, and they actually come off, and there's a screw that goes in between them. So you have this act as a standoff for the clip, and he measured it so precisely that it puts no pressure on the tie. It actually just pinches the cloth of the pants between the clip and the lock side. I mean, it's got this deep milled out, lock relief right here. It's got a ball detent. It's actually got a small lock bar stabilizer on the inside. That's a pin. It's beautifully done, actually. I love it. You have to take the knife apart in order to find it. Like I said, so I mean, for 5+ range, it's not. It's a wonderful knife. I went to the 2012 Blade Show, and several people wanted to buy it off of me. I mean, this thing's been used. I broke up in my grandmother's freaking house with it. She asked me to, so it wasn't legal. And what's beautiful is that the thumb studs also act as the stops. It stops the blade from going forward. It doesn't over rotate. I mean, it's got these nice little. You have to look really closely, but it's not a completely swoop, right? It's not a complete divot right here. It's actually got a little bit of a smaller divot on the inside of it to stop the blade and let the thumb stud stop and rest right there. I mean, the lines of it are overall beautiful. So overall, I want to say, I give this knife as one of my constant pocket carries. If I'm not carrying the sniper, I'll carry one of these. From time to time, I'll get into my moods where I'll switch from knife to knife, just like anybody else. Got a little board right here. Took a torch and did a little flame and a station to it, just playing around with the tie. Obviously, I took it off and did that. So I mean, these knives, they appreciate. Even used, they still have some appreciation to them. It's not as much as a saved and beautiful and awesome knife that would be pristine and clean. But knives were meant to be used, and I will always stand by that. Be they, several $1,000s, like any Loveless, or be they, $8 from the hardware store. Knife is as good as you treat it. But personally, I'd rather buy once. An $8 knife sometimes is not going to hold up as well as a $500 knife. It's just, and plus there's the heart, there's the hype, and then there's just overall, what do you like? So that's what we have, a frame lock Direware SoloV 2. Thank you for watching. Leave any comments and questions below, and I'll be happy to get back to you on any of that, and you guys have a good day.